I'm Bernadette Nolan, and this is going to be my last Wednesday morning with you. But I'm going to be with you on Thursday mornings at the same time, 11 o'clock, for the next 4 Thursdays. So we're waiting now just for people to come in at the moment. But if you're watching this video or you're watching other ones, the other ones that we've done, and if if they're going on too long for you, just go down to the line and you can fast forward and just see the techniques if you wish. So while you're preparing, hi Karina. So while you're preparing and getting yourself set up, if you have some nice hand cream in the bathroom or somewhere, just to have that ready for some of the practices that we'll be doing this morning. So we won't get started now until 11. So the first week I was with you, we done the havening, remember? So it's like you can look back 4 Wednesdays ago and see the havening, which is a wonderful psychosenses practice. So there's more people coming in there now. Hi Anne. So it's lovely. So Corinne is just saying there now that she's going to remind people that we're going to be on Thursday mornings from next week on. Hi Jackie, lovely to see you watching, and lovely to hear from you that you're getting so much out of it as well, Jackie. Delighted to feel your presence here every Wednesday. Great. So the second week we done some pad and gum. Remember we got up and we done a little bit of shouting and things like that. So, and the third week we done some tapping. Remember the EFT, the Emotional Freedom Technique. So good morning Mags, welcome. So this morning I'm hoping to do some finger holds with you. So we're going to be doing a lovely hand massage. So if you have a little bit of time to go and get yourself some lovely cream for your hands, we're going to give our little hands a treat this morning. And we're going to do a lovely, it's an emotional healing for all of the energy system in the body. And it's done with just giving the fingers, each finger a lovely hug. And as I explain the practice to you, you'll understand what energy, what emotions each finger is associated with. It's a lovely technique. I just checked the time there now, and it's just 11 now, so we'll get started. So I'm going to do a nice kind of getting here just to help us to arrive into our body, so that when we are doing the finger holds later, that we're already after arriving present into our own body, because we know we're thinking about different things that we need to do today, maybe the things that we didn't get done today. So if we can allow ourselves now just to park all of those things up for a while, just park them up. Imagine that you could leave them pass through your mind and say, do you know what, I don't need to think about that right now. So just place it in a box or something, an imaginary box, and imagine yourself going outside your door, whatever room you're in, and just landing that box outside the door, and then coming back in, seeing your seat, really allowing yourself to sit in the seat, allow the seat to hold your body. That's it. If you can, try to sit up straight so that the body is really supporting itself, lovely. Bringing your chin forward, parallel with the ground, and that eases all the back of the neck. It makes the back of the neck lovely and soft and relaxed. And just soften the shoulders. And just soften your body. As we're going to go in now and check in to see how are you. It's like we probably asked other people this morning already about how they are, but we may not have spent any time checking to see how you are. So just spend a little bit of time going into your body with your breath as you breathe in, and just saying, how are you? And having no expectation of the answer, knowing that it's okay if you're not okay, and knowing that it's okay if you are okay. So having no expectation, just seeing exactly what your body would like to tell you, how it's doing. Listening to the body. Good morning, Geraldine. Good morning, Anne McCarthy. You're all very welcome. So we're just doing a lovely getting here now, helping us to arrive into the space. So good morning to yourself, just calling yourself by your name. And how are you? And even if your eyes are closed or open, just notice what shapes and colours that you can see. You might even like to look around you, just to notice what shapes and colours are around you. Or even if your eyes are closed, just seeing the brightness coming through your eyelids. What colours are there? What shapes are there? And now bringing your awareness to your sense of sound. What are the sounds in your universe at this moment in time? What can you hear inside in the room? And maybe you can hear some sounds from outside of your room. Good morning, Betty. And then bringing your awareness to your sense of smell. And try not to name what you can smell. Just see if you can bring your awareness to that sense of smell. And now rolling our tongue around our mouth. There might be some residue there from our food that we ate. Or it might be toothpaste or something. So just rolling your tongue around your mouth, just to bring up that awareness of your sense of taste. And then bringing your awareness to your sense of touch. So feeling the clothes, on the texture of your clothing touching your skin. And the air touching your skin. Maybe you can feel the furniture, that connection that you have with the furniture and the floor. That's awakening and becoming consciously aware of your 5 senses. And now coming deeper down into your own body. It's just sensing you and how are you. Just leave all, let your body talk to you right now and let your body tell you how you're feeling. Don't get overwhelmed by it, it's just a feeling. And even if our body is telling us, that we're not okay, while we're listening to that and aware of that and being attentive to that, also feeling the solidness of the ground underneath you, the solidness of the chair, and the connection with your breath. So your resilience and your strength is also there, while you might be visiting a part of you that's not feeling okay. But to know that you always have that resilience. You have loving wisdom. And all of the experiences that have ever happened to you in your life, even though they might have been very challenging, they have all brought you wonderful wisdom, giving you a resilience. So just allow yourself to bring that breath in with that lovely knowledge of your resilience. As you may experience some vulnerability or pain or discomfort even in your body, knowing that both are present, your loving wisdom from all of your experiences, while we can also visit the trauma and the vulnerability, all can be present at the same time. This will really help us to not to be overwhelmed. So taking 3 nice deep breaths into the tummy, bring it right down into the middle of your belly. Breathing in that loving wisdom, that loving kindness. While you're being present to all of your being, your strength, your vulnerability, your wisdom, your compassion, your kindness, your overwhelm, your fear, all present at the same time. Good morning, Bernice. You're very welcome. So this is our lovely getting here, coming into our own body, being present. And now I'm going to begin to first of all, we're going to begin. So if you haven't been able to get some cream, we're going to do a little hand massage just to bring the awareness up into our hands, because then we're going to do a practice called the finger holds. So good morning, Willie. I'd imagine there's probably Lorraine watching. So we're going to just take a little bit of cream. And this is lovely, you know, we're all washing our hands so much now. So it's really lovely to give ourselves a lovely, lovely, gentle massage. Just taking your time to do it nice and mindfully as well. You can imagine all the things that these hands do for us. What they've done already this morning for us. So giving our hands that lovely, lovely massage. And it's lovely to be mindful, you know, even when we go to wash our hands, just to feel them. You know, sometimes we judge the water, is it coming too fast or coming too slow? Feel the wetness of the water, and you really get in touch with the soul of the water. And when I talk about getting in touch with the presence of your own being, it's getting in touch with your soul, that sense, you know, when we feel the wetness of the water. So really enjoying, spending that little bit of time, really enjoying washing our hands and massaging our hands. Yeah, and all around the fingers and the cuticles, they're all washed away at this time. So giving them a lovely massage. And now I'm going to talk to you about a practice called finger holds. And the fingers are connected up with, each finger is connected up with a different meridian energy in the body. And the meridians are connected up with our emotions. And I spoke to you already this morning there now about visiting some uncomfortable. And sometimes we try to avoid it, or we push them away, and we don't want to look at uncomfortable feelings. But if we know that they're just feelings, and that we also have this wonderful resilience within us, look what you've done already. You've got here in life, no matter what has happened to you. You survived it. So you have the resilience to do it. So each finger, I'm going to explain to you which meridian energy they're connected up with. And then what happens is that you hold each finger with a nice hug. And you connect up with a pulse. There's a different energy pulse in each finger. Now we'll be holding each finger for 2 minutes. And you may notice, like sometimes you may not notice the energy pulse at all. And while you're there, because you're paying presence to that emotional energy, it brings that pulse up into your attention. It brings it up into balance. And sometimes if the pulse is very, very rapid, and this thing is probably overwhelming you, or it's something that you may not even be, it could be an unconscious emotion that's happening to you. And when we're present to it, it brings it into balance and really helps us. This exercise can be done, this practice can be done for yourself. And you could be just sitting down in the evenings watching the TV, and you can do it placing your hands on your lap and being nice and comfortable doing it. You can also, it's a wonderful exercise to do to somebody else. Beautiful, like you could just start off with a beautiful massage, give the person a lovely massage, and then just gently hold their finger. We don't even need to explain what happens actually, because the touch and the sense of it, it happens, the emotions come into balance in the body, even if we never tell the person what they're about. You might also, if you have a pen and a paper, and if you want to draw a hand out, as I'll call out which emotion each one is connected to, you might like to write it out. And you can also see this practice on Capacitor. So it's www.capacitor.org. And it was a lady called Pat Kane would have taught me this practice. So good morning, Martina. Good morning, Paul. That's probably Mary as well. And good morning, Noel. So, what else now can I tell you about this practice? It's beautifully done with children, especially if we have like an anxious child or a child, maybe a small baby even with colic, a little baby that cries a lot. When the baby rests, now not when the baby's crying, but when the baby rests, you can just very gently massage their hand and then just very, very gently hold each finger. The little fingers will be small, so just very gently holding them. A nice gentle presence to them. It's also a wonderful practice to do to somebody that's elderly, or maybe even somebody that's in the final hours of their life, even if they're unconscious. It's just holding the fingers. You don't need to explain what you're doing, just holding the fingers. It's like sometimes we find it hard to pass away when we have unfinished business here in this life. So this brings the emotions into balance, and it may help us to pass away. So it's a wonderful exercise. It's a lovely exercise. You know, if you're, I know at the moment now we're not visiting anybody in the old folks' homes, but if you are, or if you're living with somebody, it's beautiful exercise. And just calm the person down first, and then just beginning to hold each finger. Okay, so if you have your pen and your papers ready, draw your hand, and then I'll explain to you first about what each finger, which emotion each finger is connected to, what energy pulse. And then we'll do the practice then. Okay, so the thumb is connected to when change or loss is happening for us in our lives. So this energy pulse here in the thumb is come right up through your hand and right into your body and connect up with the part of us that's experiencing change and loss, which I think at the moment we can all think that, yeah, that's happening even in the collective conscious. So, and how you'll be doing this is that you'll be very, very gently holding the hand, just a little bit more firmness so that you can connect up the pulse. And then just relax your hand down in your lap. I'll be holding my hands up to show you, but you can just relax your hand on your lap, connecting up with the pulse. So this is when we're going through the grieving process, and we go through the grieving process when there's change and loss in our lives. And that doesn't need to be a bereavement. It can be when, you know, a loss of a job, a loss of a relationship, several things that we can think that we lost, different things that we lose, and when life changes, especially when we don't expect it to change. So this is the energy pulse for that. So then we go to the index finger, and how you can remember it is that if you have ever been at the other side of somebody doing this to you, so we feel the pain of being judged. So even if we're like at an interview for a job, we know we're being judged right then. So you could be at the interview and just hold that finger on your lap. Nobody at the interview panel is going to know what you're doing. So you can just hold that. Or you could be at the family dinner and feel judged. So it could be, you know, you could be in the middle of all the people that you know love you and that you love, but you can also get that feeling of being judged sometimes. So you can just help yourself to manage the overwhelm of that by just holding this finger. And that's how you remember it. It's like, I think we all know, it's like you're to blame or whatever when we feel judged. So that's holding that finger. And then the middle finger, guess what that's for? Yeah, so if we've ever pulled out in front of somebody in the road and they give us the middle finger. So this is a great way to remember what the middle finger is. So it's for anger and resentment. And, you know, I think like in Ireland, we're probably not very good at kind of owning our own anger or resentment, because we want to be a good boy or a good girl. So it's like we prefer to maybe push that aside. It's like, well, I'm never resentful and I'm never angry. But we are. We are. Several times during the day we get angry and we get resentful. And it could be because we don't want it, we want to push it away. We may not be consciously aware of when we are resentful or anger, because we can't see the back of our own head. Sometimes we don't even know we're behaving in a resentful way or in an angry way. So just holding this finger, and the energy pulse might be very rapid or it might be very low, but by staying present there for about 2 minutes, it comes into balance. And then we move on to the ring finger. So the ring finger is for when we're overwhelmed and we might be very kind of busy in our thoughts, thinking about things that we need to do or things that we didn't get done. So we get overwhelmed and we're not in the present moment. So just holding this. And then we move into the baby finger. And the baby finger is for when we feel not good about ourselves and we say things to ourselves. Things that come from maybe family, community, different messages that we get. And more than likely, none of them are true. You know, things that we say, maybe I might say things like I feel clumsy, or I feel stupid, or I feel not good enough. So we feel very vulnerable. And those things are not true. The thing is that we are all good enough. So just holding this part of you, this vulnerable part of you, allowing you to know that you have the resilience within you, the capacity within you to know that you are good enough. So there are the fingers. So the thumb is for grief, change, loss. The index finger is for when we feel pain of being judged. The middle finger is for anger and resentment. The ring finger is for when we're overwhelmed and preoccupied. And the baby finger is for when we feel vulnerable. So we're going to do the practice now. Okay, so just settle yourself down, make yourself really comfortable. And we're going to hold each finger for about 2 minutes. Okay. So allowing yourself, and it's being present for the 2 minutes to each emotion. That's the thing that shifts it. Because what we normally do to uncomfortable emotions is we want to push them away, we want them to go away. But just changing that around right now and just being present and just trusting, I promise you, the emotion will move, the emotion will shift. Just because you're present to it. It's like the same as if we're present to a little baby that's crying, the baby gets soothed. So our bodies also get soothed, our emotions get soothed when we pay presence to it. We pay attention. Okay, so settling down, making yourself nice and comfortable. And we're going to hold the thumb. Just placing the thumb on your lap, and your hands on your lap. And connecting up with the meridian energy now that's experiencing grief, change, and loss. So releasing the hold from the thumb. And now we're going to move on to the index finger. And the index finger is for whenever we've had the pain of feeling judged, when we've been at the other side of this finger. So we feel judged. So just holding the index finger nice and firm and placing your hands on your lap. And connecting up with that emotional feeling of being judged, the pain of being judged. And releasing the hold. And now we're going to go to the middle finger. And the middle finger is for anger and resentment. And holding and placing the hands on the lap, allowing yourself to get really comfortable and connecting up with that part of you that feels anger and resentment. And try not to judge it, try to just be present with it. releasing the hold. And now moving to the ring finger. And the ring finger is for when we feel overwhelmed, like when we're preoccupied, when, you know, we're on a merry-go-round and, you know, the big thing is stressing us and then the small thing is stressing us, so we're very overwhelmed. So just holding the ring finger. And releasing the hold. And now we're going to go to the baby finger. And the baby finger is connected up with the meridian energy, the part of us that feels vulnerable, the part of us that believes those messages, you know, those things that we hear, but, you know, 90% of the time none of them are true. So we might feel like not good enough. You know, we might have heard little things like, you know, you're stupid or clumsy, or you never amount to anything, you know, all of those things. So sometimes we swallow them down, we believe them, but they're not true, because the truth is that you are good enough, but it doesn't stop us from having the feeling, even though it's not true. So just holding that part of us and just being present to that part of us, because we just need to catch, even though we know it's not true, we just need to catch ourselves and hold ourselves with love and kindness to know that those messages are not true. We can give them back to whoever gave them to us with love and kindness. We don't have to give them back with anger or resentment. We can just give them back with love and kindness, so that we're not carrying them anymore. It's just resting our hands, being present to this part of us that's vulnerable, or that may feel that we're not good enough. And releasing the hold. Okay, so that's the finger holds. Adults, we need to hold them for 2 minutes, because because of all of the different things that we get conditioned into, we've kind of lost that sense of ourselves. But when we're doing this with children, 30 seconds, because they're much more in tune with themselves. So they need to only hold their little fingers for 30 seconds and they'll get in touch with that energy pulse. So hi Sylvia. and Sheila and Vera and Mary, Martina. You're all very welcome. So there may be some questions that you might want to ask me about the finger holes. So if you want to text them in to ask me, and I can check on them. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a nice relaxation exercise now, just to help us to relax. So if you want to put up some questions after the relaxation, then I'll read them and I'll try to answer them then. Okay. Hi, Teresa. So we're going to get ready now to just have a nice deep relaxation. And even though I might be finishing the live Facebook, if you feel relaxed, this is great about Facebook Live, and it's a great thing about us being at home. You don't have to stop the relaxation when I'm finished. You can continue and stay there and stay relaxed for as long as you want to. It's wonderful actually to stay relaxed for about 40 minutes. And you know, like listening to the theorists, they say, like, if we are going to go for a rest during the day, set your alarm clock for 40 minutes. If you have a 40-minute rest during the day, when you get up, you'll feel really energetic and you feel renewed. But if we go, because that's the first realm of sleep, but if we go over the 40 minutes, when we wake up, then, like, if you sleep for 2-3 hours, you're going to wake up feeling more tired and more groggy. So it's like, set your alarm and get up after the 40 minutes, but you'll feel lovely and revived then. And it's ideal if we can get 8 hours sleep at night time, if we can. So good morning, Alison. Okay, so we'll just settle in there now for a nice deep relaxation. Just find yourself a nice comfortable space. If you want to lie down or sit back in your chair, make yourself lovely and warm. And as you settle down into this relaxation exercise, just connecting up with your breath. Feeling that breath entering your body, just following it into your body. And as it leaves your body. And as you bring in the breath, bringing in love and kindness, and as you leave go of the breath, just saying to yourself, relax. Let your jaw just drop. Let your shoulders hang. Relax your spine. Leave your hands become as heavy as lead and your legs as heavy as lead. Soften your eyelids. And allow yourself to sink into whatever is holding you right now. As each breath goes out, allow yourself to get more and more relaxed. Just softening your chest and softening your tummy. Relaxing your toes, the ball of your foot and your instep and your heel, and curling up around your ankle and up around your shin bone and your calf, and just let your knees go. And curling up around your thighs, up around your hips and your buttocks and your genital area. Just allowing your body from your hips right down to your toes to become as heavy as lead. let your body relax as you breathe out that breath. And prepare to bring in that lovely new breath of loving kindness. Feeling the nourishment flow right down into your toes, the nourishment from the breath. And curling up around your spine. Just breathing into that spine with that lovely breath. And as you let go, just softening the spine and just allowing yourself to be held. And let those shoulders melt like ice cream. Just leave those shoulders soften a little bit more. That's it. Just let them go as you breathe out that breath. Let those shoulders fall down a little bit more and let them relax. And bringing that breath into your arms, your upper arm and your lower arm, and just leaving your elbows go. And right down into the back of your hand and the palm of your hand and into your fingertips. And as you breathe out, allowing your hands to become as heavy as lead, just leaving them hang there. Feeling the nourishment of that beautiful breath coming in right down into your fingertips. And as you breathe out, just letting go of any tension, just letting it go. And softening the back of your neck. Just bring your chin forward if your chin is back so that you can really soften and be kind to the back of your neck. Bring that chin forward. Relaxing your scalp. And in there is your mind. Just giving yourself permission to give your mind some time out. Just time out. Allowing your face to become as smooth as silk. Softening your forehead and in between your eyes. And softening those eyelids and your upper and lower jaw. Just opening your lips a little bit. Placing your tongue on your palate. And you're allowing yourself to breathe in and out through your nose. It's like listening to the waves of the sea coming and going. The ebb and the flow. And softening the throat. Just relaxing your tongue and relaxing your throat. And taking a lovely, nourishing breath into your chest. Here is a place where we can hold a lot. So just for now, bringing that lovely, warm, loving kindness into your chest. And just breathing out any tension that might be there. Letting it go. Allowing the chest to get lovely and soft. Getting a little holiday from anything we might be carrying there. And coming down into the tummy. And see if you can just breathe deep down into the middle of your belly. bringing in that loving kindness breath into your body and just letting go of anything unwanted from there. And I want to invite you now to use your imagination and imagine down deep there in the middle of your belly that there's a little flicker of light. And as you breathe in, this light gets a little bit bigger. And as you breathe out, the light gets a little bit smaller. So it's your light, so it can have whatever colour you want it to have, whatever shape you want it to have. It can be whatever size you want it to be. It's your own healing light. And allow it to have movement. And that if you want it to be fast or slow or whatever speed you want it to be. And now I'm going to invite you for the next few minutes to travel around your body with this healing light. And just breathing it in all around your body, bringing this wonderful compassion, love and kindness with your healing light all around your body. So if you're nice and comfortable, you might want to stay there. I'll just finish up here, but stay nice and comfortable and stay relaxed. I don't see any questions coming up. I just see Geraldine joined us as also. Welcome, Geraldine. So I'm just going to finish up and let you be nice and relaxed wherever you are. Wishing you well. And next week, I'm going to see you on Thursday. Please remember to like and share this so that other people can see it and benefit from it. Take care. Bye-bye. See you next Thursday.